I was folding laundry when my phone rang. I remember that because I just matched the socks, one of those small, orderly satisfactions, and the sound cut through it like a snapped thread. My mother didn't bother with hello. "Don't even think about showing up to the wedding," she said. Her voice had that clipped brightness it always got when she believed she was being practical. "You'll ruin the photos. Rachel deserves better in her background." There it was, reduced to a background problem, a visual obstruction. I waited a beat. Not because I didn't know what to say, but because I knew saying anything would turn into something else, an argument she could later summarize as me being dramatic. "I've already told the photographer," she continued. "We're keeping things clean. Elegant." I pictured the seating chart I'd helped design months ago, the budget spreadsheet I'd built because my sister hated numbers, the honeymoon fund account I'd opened when they asked if I could temporarily hold it for logistics. I'd been useful. I'd just never been wanted. I said. She paused, thrown off by the lack of resistance. "Okay. Yes," she sighed, relieved. "Good. I knew you'd understand." We hung up. I finished folding the socks. At my desk, I logged into the bank account. The honeymoon fund sat there, neat and untouched, labeled with my sister's name. I transferred the balance back to my personal account. No drama, no delay. Then I took a screenshot and sent it to my mother with a single line. I understand boundaries," she called immediately. I didn't answer. The messages started after that. Confusion first, then irritation. Then the familiar attempt at moral framing, how disappointed they were, how stressed Rachel already was, how this wasn't the time to make things about myself. I didn't respond. The truth was, I'd made this decision long before that phone call. Not consciously, more like a slow internal migration. Every time I was asked to contribute but not appear, support but not stand, I'd taken a small step back. I'd learned the difference between generosity and self-erasure. Rachel texted me that night. "You didn't have to do that." I stared at the screen. Didn't I? Hovered in my head, but I typed nothing. Over the next week, wedding talk flooded the family group chat. Photos of centerpieces. Jokes about seating. My absence went unmentioned, like an empty chair everyone agreed not to look at. They bragged a lot about the venue. How lucky they were to get it. How exclusive it was. How it just worked out. I knew the place well. I'd bought it 3 years earlier through a holding company after the previous owner retired. I'd kept the name, the staff, the public-facing management. It wasn't a secret, exactly. It just wasn't information anyone had ever bothered to ask for. Ownership was paperwork. Authority lived elsewhere. 2 weeks before the wedding, the venue manager emailed the listed event contact, my mother, with a routine request, confirmation of final payment and insurance documentation. Standard procedure. They didn't respond. A follow-up email went out, then a call. By the third attempt, policy kicked in. Unconfirmed events past the deadline were flagged. The manager forwarded the issue to me with a brief note. "Do you want to intervene or let protocol proceed?" I read it once, then again. Proceed," I replied. Standard protocol only." The call from my mother came that evening. She sounded panicked now, the practicality gone. "They're saying there's an issue with the venue. Something about documentation. Can you believe this? After everything we've planned." "I can," I said. "Do you know anyone there?" "Yes." A pause. "Can you fix it?" I closed my eyes, not because I was tempted, but because I wanted to be precise. "They need the paperwork," I said. "And confirmation of payment. We already paid, well, we were going to. The honeymoon fund." "I know." Her voice sharpened. "You did this on purpose." "I followed the process," I said. "The same one everyone follows." She lowered her voice, as if that made it reasonable. "Rachel is counting on this. Don't punish her for a misunderstanding." "I'm not punishing anyone," I said. "I'm respecting boundaries." "What boundaries?" she snapped. "The ones you set." Silence. Then, smaller. "Are you saying you won't help?" "I'm saying I won't override policy." She hung up. The venue sent a formal notice the next morning, without documentation and payment by end of day. The date would be released. Not canceled. Released. Language mattered. By afternoon, Rachel called me. She sounded tired, not angry. That surprised me. "They're saying the venue might not be available," she said. "Mom thinks you can fix it." "I can clarify the requirements," I said. "I can't change them." She exhaled slowly. "I didn't know she said those things to you." "I know. I didn't agree with it," she said. "I just didn't stop her." I let that sit. "What do you want me to do?" she asked. "Decide what you're willing to stand behind," I said, "and do it." They found the money by evening. The documents arrived complete. The date was secured. On the day of the wedding, I didn't attend. I wasn't invited, and I didn't ask to be. The venue staff did their jobs. The photos were clean, elegant. Afterward, my mother sent a message, not an apology. Something adjacent. Things were hectic. "Maybe we can talk later," I replied with a single word assurance. "We haven't talked yet. Maybe we will, maybe we won't." What changed wasn't their behavior, not really. It was the clarity. I no longer mistook access for affection or contribution for belonging. I didn't ruin the photos. I just stepped out of the background.